The UN wasn't ready for what this Filipino said. Have you ever seen the world's most powerful people fall completely silent? Not from fear or anger, but because one quiet Filipino voice spoke truth. It happened at the United Nations General Assembly in New York, a cold September morning. Cameras flashing, translators whispering, until the representative of the Republic of the Philippines. Most didn't even look up. And then a man stood. Not a politician, not a celebrity, just Miguel Santiago, a former teacher from Iloilo. No entourage, only a folder and quiet confidence. And in the next few minutes, this teacher would shake the world, not with power, but with truth. Miguel began softly. When I was 10, my father told me our country was too small to matter. But I think he was wrong. The hall went still. Translators paused. He spoke of fishermen rebuilding after storms, nurses who stayed through pandemics, mothers who worked abroad so their children could dream. And then he said words that would echo through history. We are not a small nation. We are a great people disguised as humble servants. He lifted his folder. No crest, no logo, just two handwritten words. Humanity first. That was the moment silence turned holy. A place built on speeches had just heard a prayer. Miguel was never supposed to speak. The original delegate fell ill and he was asked to fill in. Just read the statement, they told him. But on the flight, he read it once, twice, and stopped. It didn't sound like truth. It didn't sound like us. He thought of farmers smiling after losing crops, nurses singing to comfort strangers, and workers praying in foreign lands. Somewhere over the Pacific, he decided he would not read the government's words. He would speak the people's heart, even in Idum Mau, even if it meant breaking the rules. Before the UN, Miguel lived a quiet life in Ilo. Every dawn, he walked to the shore with coffee in hand, watching waves rise and fall. His mother's words guided him. Waves never stopped coming, Anuka, but so do the mornings. He taught children who barely had notebooks, built bamboo chairs with parents, bought chalk with his own salary, and he told his students, never say the Philippines is poor, say we are rich. In patience, in laughter, in faith. That was the wealth he carried to New York. Not money, but meaning. The night before, he walked by the East River under those city lights. Lord, he prayed, if I am to speak tomorrow, let it not be my words, but yours. A group of Filipino workers passed by. One smiled and asked, "My kababayan, are you lost?" Miguel smiled back, just trying to find the right words. The man replied, "Then say what's true. We're good at that." And that's when Miguel realized, the real Filipino voice doesn't come from microphones. It comes from hearts that never stop believing. Miguel's story embodied core Filipino values: service, bayani, and resilience. He showed that true leadership rises from the ground up, fueled by community. Anna's journey was not just hardship, but determination. The bamboo bridge, not just necessity, but hope. Miguel's humility, admitting he was just a teacher, created an immediate bond. In a room of egos, his honesty was revolutionary. He spoke as a witness, not an expert, giving his words rare authenticity. By sharing his experience, Miguel redefined what it meant to represent a nation. He spoke for millions of ordinary Filipinos, showing the world their courage and compassion. His story was, honestly, a testament to the true heart of his people. The next morning, Miguel stood behind the podium, lights blinding, cameras fixed, the world watching. He could feel his hands tremble, but his heart was calm, steady. He looked at the rows of flags, the polished marble floor, and thought, every flag here tells a story, and today mine will speak too. He began with a voice that barely rose above a whisper. When the world forgets kindness, chaos begins. When the powerful forget humility, hope fades. But when ordinary people remember to care, even the smallest nation shines like the sun. At first, People just listened politely, but then something changed. The translators stopped whispering. The pen stopped writing, and for a full minute after his final line, nobody moved. Then one delegate from South Africa stood and clapped, then another from Japan. Then slowly, the entire hall rose to their feet. It wasn't noise, it was reverence. Every clap was like a heartbeat, united, sincere. News outlets rushed to upload the clip. A teacher from the Philippines moves the UN to tears. By nightfall, it had crossed 20 million views. But while the world argued over who he was, Miguel sat quietly at a small cafe on 45th Street. He sipped his coffee, no sugar, just black, and held his mother's worn rosary. The TV above the counter showed his own face. The barista whispered, "That's you, isn't it?" He smiled softly, just someone who told the truth. And in that moment, Miguel knew. Sometimes silence is the loudest applause. When Miguel returned home, the air was electric. Children greeted him in the streets. Teachers sent letters. Strangers shook his hand. But not everyone was smiling. Behind closed doors, officials called emergency meetings. A week later, a plain white envelope arrived at his school, stamped unsigned. Inside, a summons. "You are required to explain your unauthorized remarks at the United Nations." He read it twice, folded it carefully, and smiled. "So truth has a price," he whispered. Inside the government building, the walls were sterile, the air thick. 3 officials sat behind a long table. One spoke sharply. "Mr. Santiago, why did you not follow the prepared statement?" Miguel placed his folder on the table. "Because it didn't sound like us," he said quietly. "It sounded like paper, and our people sound like life." No one replied. Just silence. The kind that says everything and nothing. Outside, as he left, dozens of people were waiting. Janitors, drivers, nurses, students. They didn't shout. They didn't protest. They simply clapped, slow, steady, proud. An old man raised his hand and said, "You spoke what we've been trying to say all our lives." Miguel nodded and replied softly, "Then maybe it was never my voice alone." 2 weeks later, while checking his emails in a small internet cafe, he saw it from United Nations Humanitarian Forum. He clicked it. "Mr. Santiago, the Secretary General invites you to speak again, this time on service beyond borders." Miguel leaned back, heart pounding. He looked out the window. Fisher fixing nets, children playing in the dust, a woman selling flowers by the roadside. He whispered, "Lord, is this pride or purpose?" The wind outside brushed through the palm leaves, whispering softly, "Go speak again." That night he packed the same bong, the same folder, the same rosary, no new suit, no sponsor, no luxury, just the same fate. At the airport, a flight attendant recognized him. "Sir, are you the teacher from the UN video?" He smiled shyly. "Just Miguel?" "Well, Mr. Juz Miguel," she said, "the world needs more of you." He chuckled quietly. "No, the world just needs more truth." And with that, the plane lifted, carrying not a politician, but a promise. When Miguel returned to New York, something had changed. He wasn't a stranger anymore. At the UN entrance, guards greeted him by name. A janitor whispered, "Sir, thank you for making them listen." Miguel smiled. They listened because it wasn't just me speaking. As he stepped into the hall again, he saw the same flags, but now they seemed to bow in quiet respect. He stood behind the same podium, breathing in deeply. This time he began, "I don't speak for one country. I speak for every soul who believes humility is not weakness but strength. For every nurse, farmer, and teacher who serves the world quietly while the world isn't looking." A woman in the crowd wiped her tears. A journalist put down his pen. "Just a listen." Miguel continued, "Our accents may be mocked, our skin may be judged, but our kindness, our courage, they cross oceans, and that is what the world needs most." As he finished, the light from the glass dome above fell directly on the Philippine flag beside him. The golden sun gleamed brighter, as if heaven itself was proud. Everyone stood once more. No anthem, no announcement, just hearts rising together. When he left the stage, Miguel didn't take selfies or give interviews. He simply looked back once, smiled, and whispered, "We spoke and they heard." And somewhere far away, a young Filipino student watching online said, "Someday I'll speak too." Because sometimes one humble voice is enough to awaken a nation.